Subscribe to our YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to get all the latest updates.
We are bringing you this report from the state's first contactless COVID facility. Yes, set up inside the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel's indoor stadium situated at the NSCI complex in Worli. This is the first COVID facility, the first makeshift hospital of the state. This air-conditioned makeshift hospital boasts about contactless screenings, the consultation area, and 4 huge screens to keep the patients entertained, and also a free air passage where these patients are taken for yoga session. This entire technologically advanced facility is the brainchild of Dr. Mufaddal Lakhadwala, the famous laparoscopic surgeon. So now let's join Dr. Mufaddal Lakhadwala, who will take us through the COVID facility and explain in detail its various arrangements.
So the biggest challenge was that this is a pandemic of proportions that we've never seen before. Not in this generation, not in our lifetimes at least. A medical challenge which was being tackled at every different level. Yeah. So we not only had to protect patients, which was the first job that we as doctors had to do, but when I joined this whole thing, my basic idea was how do I protect my doctors, my healthcare workers and my nurses, because we were losing a lot of doctors and they were dying just because they were not being adequately protected. Yeah. So what we did is we first thought of this ICU. Yeah. So now once we had built up the isolation facility, which you just saw, we had lots of patients. Then we realized that we had to build up an ICU. Now in a conventional ICU, which you've seen in most hospitals across Mumbai, you would have seen that you have like a proper ICU where there are nurses, there's one nurse per 2 patients or one nurse per patient, there's isolation. Now the biggest problem that happened with this disease when it spread was that we had centralized ACs and we didn't have negative isolation ICUs, right? So you had the same AC duct which was carrying the infection from one cubicle to the other, and that's how everybody started getting infected. Before we realized that this was so contagious, it was already a lot of things. That's why we lost a lot of lives in Italy, and in Europe, in Spain, and all the other places, and in America in the beginning. Very soon we realized we needed negative isolation. Now, most of the top hospitals in the world don't have so many negative isolation because there's not so much of infectious diseases. Even some of the best hospitals in Bombay had probably 1 or maximum 2 negative isolation ICUs.
What is this negative isolation?
Negative isolation where the air of that area is treated separately. And the air of that area is taken out and burnt separately so that does not spread. So there is a positive and negative area. So positive area, the air remains there, and negative, it takes it out. Now you can see these burners. These are all virus burners, all right? So this is a 40-bed ICU, probably one of the first in a tent that we are setting up. There's going to be tubing inside, oxygen tubing, air tubing, suction tubing. There are going to be 40 beds inside. And the most important thing is I can't treat it like a normal ICU. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put these virus burners here.
Please pan the camera here. These are the virus burners, yes?
These virus burners. So the air that is coming from every bed there is brought out. It's treated separately so that the viral load inside comes down. And because the viral load comes down, the chances of my healthcare workers getting exposed is very, very less. Right? Now, this has got a HEPA filter. HEPA filter filters out most of the virus. Let's say by chance one of the virus escapes, then there is a thermal burner that completely burns the virus. And even if that escapes, then there is a steam burner here, which will throw out, and you will get something like that, like a pipe out over here to throw the air out. So if anyone were to pass by from here also, he will not get infected. Now the other important thing that we've done is this ICU is going to be completely remotely controlled, all right? So we are going to have something like specialized monitors which are going to be connected to a central war room, which is located probably 500 meters from here. And for a 40-bed ICU, I'm going to probably have 8 nurses. Yeah, so again, this is a concept that you'd probably think, how can you manage an ICU without nurses and without doctors inside? Most likely, I will have no doctors inside, except for one doctor who will come every now and then, take a round and go off. Yeah, the only time you need a doctor is, let's say someone's really not doing well, so the doctor will rush in here and save that person, or put in a tube to put him on a ventilator. Everything else can be monitored by him sitting there. So the nurse will wear a glasses, like a Google Glass, and then, like you see in Sky-Fi images, the doctor sitting there will have all the images and parameters on his screen. The nurse will have a video calling app, and what she will do is that she will call the doctor from here, so she can connect to a doctor sitting in Leelavati or in Nanavati or in Saifi Hospital or whichever hospital, and ask him for his advice, and he can lifetime see the patient on his video calling app.
So we are here in the war room. First of all, doctor, can we know why this is called a war room?
So this is a war, right? We believe Corona is a war and the whole world is up in arms against it. So that's why we like to call this a war room. Okay, these are all the red areas in Worli which were highlighted in the beginning. And so most of our planning and everything is done kind of here. And another thing is, when you manage a facility which is not a hospital, but has to function like a hospital, you have to treat it accordingly. Yeah. So this is where we come and de-stress and chill. This is our report card. So what we do is, these are report card numbers. So we've so far discharged 550 patients. And we've got over 44 people above the age of 60, 130 with diabetes, hypertension, everything, 6 were pregnant women. We've got 61 cancer patients so far. So this is how I monitor my patients. So let's say sitting out over here, you will say, how can I monitor 600 patients sitting out over there? So what I do is, this is how I've got various cameras placed in. I'll go in here. Okay. Now if I want to zoom into any one particular patient, I'll go here. I'll find out what's happening to these people here.
We are planning to make the portable ICUs and supply to the hospitals in Mumbai, right? So what is the idea behind that?
So basically this was a brainchild of my introduction with Mr. Thackeray. Okay, and we were thinking, how do we save more lives? We needed more ICUs. Now, how do we get more ICUs? Because infrastructure in a building or something would take time. So we thought, why not make portable ICUs in containers, which were easy to make. So this has been done in close to 7 to 8 days. Okay. The other important thing is, because like I told you, even with the modular ICU, we needed negative isolation. Once you have negative isolation, viral load comes down, lesser chance of infection. So not only had we to make it like that, we had to put airlocks for the entry of the staff. We had to put negative isolation with virus burners all across. That took a little bit of time. And then we had the regular ICUs, in the sense of ventilator inside, beds inside, every other screening mechanism. So 2 beds per container we had, and that's how we modelized ICUs.
So how many are we planning to make?
We've got 15 so far.
Okay.
Yeah, and we are planning to put it in different parts of Mumbai, which probably a hospital doesn't have an ICU. So we're going to put 5 there. Okay. So you have 10 ICU beds already ready, without you having to do any infrastructural changes.
Okay.
So you save lives.
And do you need the doctors to be specially trained in handling such portable ICUs?
So again, this will be remotely monitored, just like a modular ICU. They will have a remote monitoring capability. So I might have a junior guy there who can dial in one of the senior consultants in one of the other hospitals and take his opinion that this is this patient, how do I manage him? So everything is going to be remote.
Okay. So coming back to the war room, so entire dome is controlled from here?
Entire dome. This is probably the control nerve center of the dome. Yeah.
Okay. So what all activities go over here? How many people and what teams do you have here?
So here we have like a computer IT team which is based, then there's a research cell which will go on and do our studies and everything. Then there's a data monitoring system which monitors the data and everything. So then you'll have someone who looks after only our patients who are high risk and everything, and someone who monitors that. So Ruqayya sits and monitors only our high risk patients. So I'll introduce you to my team, which has been the backbone of why we've been successful. Yeah. We've had 24 young nurses who've come out of a 4th year nursing school and been the bravest lot, who actually go inside and do everything. Okay. To start this facility, I had gone in for 8 or 9 hours, almost on a daily basis in the beginning, and then that changed now. They've got me out and I have to so the general doesn't go into the war directly. It's all volunteers. The good thing about this facility is that not one person is charging 1 single rupee. Another thing we've done is something like this. This is a device. So we have a lot of patients who probably now don't really have to be are mild to moderately symptomatic and don't have to be in a hospital, right? So you would rather stay in the comfort of your home if you can isolate yourself at home and everything. And home isolation, where you might need basic little bit of oxygen but not too much and you're not too serious, all right? But you have to still self-isolate. So this device, now they would be scared that, oh my God, corona, I will die. Now if I tell them that as a doctor I'm going to monitor them completely, so then they are quite comfortable. This device allows me to measure my temperature, my pulse, my BP, my blood sugar, as well as my ECG tracing by various things. So for example, I'll tell you, if let's say I were to get in.
This is the X-ray bus. We show you inside.
This was a concept that we thought of early on. So basically X-ray was one modality which was very simple, very cheap, but completely underutilized in the COVID war. Now we do know that the virus usually affects the lungs, right? CT scan is a documented thing, world over is when being used. Now CT scan you can't do on everybody. Let's say if you do on one patient, then if that patient is positive, it will take so much time to sanitize the area, you have to shut down and everything. Whereas X-ray, something like this, can be sanitized by just spraying simply and the next patient can come in the next 5 minutes. Now this X-ray, signs are picked up in COVID cases as early as 4th to 5th day up to the 8th day. And what's more important is it's digital. So the X-ray goes from here directly onto a cloud, and via a cloud it goes and gets interpreted as high, medium or low. Now if it's a high X-ray, it's interpreted by the radiologist, and then we get lifetime images on a computer there. And then once we've got these images onto our computer, if the patient is positive, we go ahead and swap them. So it's all done very much lifetime.
Now let's join Dr. Neetawati, who will take us further down the facility.
Started and we've reached where we have. Okay, if you want to take. Now this is our contactless clinic. Okay, our doctors sit inside. This is AC. It has a filter, okay, and there is a screen. So the doctors are on this side. They don't need a PPE. They're very safe. They're very comfortable. Come. This is the screen. A doctor will sit here. If you see, there are machines here. That means the doctor is not in contact and they talk on phone, okay, so that the patient's privacy is maintained. Okay, you don't ask, it's not a microphone which is glaring. Now here the patient will take the pulse oximeter, check the pulse and the oxygen on by herself. See, yeah, you can see this. Come, Divya. This is Dr. Divya, and this is how the consultations go on. All the data is entered here. Everybody's details are here, so we keep a track on who has come on what day, when was the swab positive, how is he doing. Every day their parameters are maintained. Every day a proper consulting and a counseling session happens.
How does the swab testing take place?
Yeah, the swab testing is here if you want to see that.
Okay, just first I can finish with this.
हाँ, वो टेम्परेचर प्रोब लीजिए, टेम्परेचर दीजिए ना अपना.
We have a temperature probe. What doctor is doing is the patient himself is checking the temperature and the doctor checks here. Okay.
So now we will take you inside that area where symptomatic and asymptomatic patients, COVID patients, have been admitted. This area is totally contactless area where the doctors and the patients do not come in direct contact, just to save the doctors from catching on the infections. Yes, of course, in emergency cases the doctors, when they are required, they do go enter with complete protection, and this has been done. This area is completely designed so that no healthcare worker, no doctor falls prey to this infection.
भांजा सुशांत पगारे है, उन्होंने मेरे को इधर लाया था क्योंकि मेरे को भूखा रहा था, तो मेरे को बोला जल्दी जल्दी आओ मामी. आया, उसने मेरे को अच्छा ट्रीटमेंट दिया. सब डॉक्टर ने अच्छा ट्रीटमेंट दिया. इधर के सब वर्कर वगैरह सब अच्छे हैं, पुलिस बिलिस सब अच्छे हैं. मेरे को कुछ प्रॉब्लम नहीं. मैं 2 दिन में ठीक हुई, क्योंकि अभी मेरा रिपोर्ट ही ठीक हो रहा है.
I and my daughter have been admitted here, and it's a quite good facility. There are doctors on call. 24 hours there are doctors available here, nurses are there and quite dedicated, service is very good. And they try to provide whatever they can with all the resources they have. And I'm quite content with what they are offering. I really hope that we turn negative, COVID negative fast and go home.
So this was the NSAI Dome for you, the state's first contactless COVID care facility. They have, first of all, they have 600 beds over here, and this entire system runs purely on technology. With 5 more such facilities to come up across the city, this will add 5,000 beds more, which will provide a huge relief to what you can call the already crumbling healthcare infrastructure of the city. With Shiva Devnath, this is Nazia Sayed for Mojo News, Mumbai.